G'day Spuddies. As usual, there's a pile of clean dishes behind me because I have to do that before I make a YouTube video. Movember's over. I don't have a moustache. Well, sort of do. I've got some stubble, but it's the same as the rest of my face. Yeah, it's over, but you can still donate if you want to donate. Then donate. The link's in the description below. 11 months down. 11 months gone. It's the 1st of December today. That means I've completed 11 months of the Spud Fit challenge. I've only got 1 month left. 1 month until my breakfast party. So come along and hear James Aspey and Dr. Anthony Hage, Malcolm Mackay, Jenny, I've forgotten the last name, Jenny Cameron, and Kathy Ashton talking, as well as myself, and we'll have an amazing whole food plant-based breakfast cooked by Levana Whole Foods. It's going to be awesome. Link in the description below if you want to get tickets. So, 11 months down, I thought I'd talk about 11 things I've learned in 11 months of doing a potato-only diet. I was just about to start filming. I thought, what am I going to talk about? I'll talk about 11 things. So I wrote 11 things down. This is not the only 11 things that I've learned, and it's not even a top 11 things that I've learned. It's not in any order or anything. It's just 11 things that I felt like talking about for 11 things in 11 months. There you go. So I'll start from the start again. No specific order, not the only 11, not even the top 11, just 11 things I thought would be interesting to talk about for my 11 lessons learned in 11 months. First of all, Spuds Are Healthy. Actually, technically I learned that before I started the year, so maybe that's an extra month. But Spuds Are Healthy. We keep on, as a society, it's drilled into us that spuds are not healthy. They make you fat, they're empty calories, all that sort of stuff. But they've got all the protein, all the vitamins, all the minerals. Obviously everyone knows they've got carbs. They've got a little bit of fat too. They've got antioxidants. They've got heaps of fibre. They've got everything we need. And after 11 months, I'm pretty healthy and feeling good, and I've lost heaps of weight. And hopefully that's, actually, I'm not even going to hope. People are going to say they're unhealthy no matter what I do. But there's a lesson. Spuds are healthy. Number 2, don't fear carbs. Everyone's scared of carbs. And that is obviously a weird thing, I've probably eaten, actually there are definitely people in the world that have eaten, I was going to say I've eaten more carbs than anyone in the world this year, but that's not true. There are elite athletes that eat way more carbs than me. But I've eaten a lot of carbs this year, and I've lost weight, and I have gotten healthier, and that's that. As long as we are eating good carbs from whole foods, then there's nothing to fear. If you're eating cans of Coke, I hope you don't eat cans of Coke. If you're drinking cans of Coke, or if you're eating refined sugars and things like that, then yeah, that's not a good idea. But if you're eating carbs from whole foods, no problem. Carbs from potatoes, perfect. And back to point 1 too. Spuds are healthy. I think the reason the reason that we think spuds are unhealthy is because traditionally when we eat spuds, we cook them, we bake them covered in oil, or we deep fry them, even worse. And then we serve them covered in cheese and cream and bacon bits and sour cream and butter and all of this sort of crap. And that's what makes them unhealthy. But the spuds themselves are not unhealthy. That was point 1 though. I'm jumping around a bit here. Point 2, don't fear carbs. We've been through that. Point 3, we don't need so much protein. I think that's an important one to talk about. Yes, we do need protein. Protein is essential. But we as a society, again, we seem to be obsessed with protein. Am I getting enough protein? Where are you getting your protein from? What sort of protein are you getting? Is it bioavailable? Blah, 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 blah. I've been eating a relatively low protein diet this year. I'd rather not call it low protein though. It is lower in protein than what most people eat. But rather than call it low, I'd rather call it an adequate protein diet. I've been getting plenty of protein. I've been getting fitter and stronger all year. I've done some very big, taxing draining training sessions where I just felt great the next day. I even did a couple of months of powerlifting training in the middle of the year where I got stronger over the course of a couple of months. I just stopped doing that because it was boring and I didn't like the music at the gym, and I prefer to be outside doing endurance sports like riding and running and kayaking. But yes, we don't need as much protein as we think we do. We certainly don't need to supplement. Eat whole plant foods, even just eat potatoes like I do if you want to. You don't have to. Obviously, I don't care if you do that or not, but you're going to get enough protein as long as you're eating enough calories. Fourth lesson I learned is that what I'm not eating is just as important, maybe even more important, than what I am eating. And what I'm not eating is refined oils. That includes coconut oil, the sacred cow. I'm killing the sacred cow here. Sorry, vegans. That's a bad saying, isn't it? But anyway, you know what I mean. Coconut oil, no good. Olive oil, even if it's extra virgin olive oil, whatever, no good. Hemp oil, you name it, any kind of oil. Canola, safflower, peanut oil, they're all highly processed foods. They're all refined, extracted from their original form, very high calories, artery clogging, all of that sort of stuff. I'm not eating any sort of oils. I'm not eating any meat or dairy or eggs either. I'm not eating, I was going to say I'm not eating any refined sugars, but I do have a very, very small amount of refined sugars in a sauce every now and then. We're talking about a tablespoon of sauce over a big plate of potatoes, and maybe half of that sauce, of the worst sauce I've had, would be sugar. But most of the sauces I've had have been organic and whole food based. Whatever, I have had a little bit of refined sugar, but again, I'm not. It's not something I think we should eat a lot of. I'm not defending that. I think sugar's a bad idea, but it's helped me stick to this, so that's a good thing. But anyway, what I'm not eating: oils, animal products such as meat, dairy, and eggs, and very, very small and very minimal amounts of refined sugar. It's important. That's just as important. So I'm sticking to whole, unprocessed plant foods. And what I'm not eating, I'm sticking to potatoes, which is a whole, unprocessed plant food. And that's what I'm going to continue to do in the future, because whole, unprocessed plant foods are the important thing, and what you're not eating is just important. I feel like I've messed that point up a bit. I hope it made sense. But anyway, I'm going to plow on. Eat Spuds First is the next lesson. I've forgotten what number I'm up to. 5? I think it's 5. Eat Spuds First. And what I mean by that is I've explained in other videos and in talks I've given that when cravings come, you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to follow what the cravings say. What you can do instead is tell yourself, I always use chocolate cake as an example. I'll eat the chocolate cake, no problem. I'm not going to say that I'll never eat it again. That's too hard. Instead of that, I'm going to say, yes, I'll eat the chocolate cake, but first I'm going to have a big plate of potatoes. Boiled, plain potatoes, load up a plate, stuff them in, eat as many as I can, and then see if I feel like the chocolate cake. And at the end of, once I've stuffed in those potatoes and filled myself up, I never felt like chocolate cake. And I've had a lot of people write to me or tell me personally that it works for them too. So if you're craving junk, then eat Spuds First. That is my favourite way to beat cravings. Just eat some Spuds and then see if you're still craving it. A lot of Spuds though. You can't just have a bite, because that's not going to do anything for you. You've got to eat a lot of them. Alright, number 6. Cravings are lies. Do not trust them. Your cravings do not exist to tell you when you're missing out on a certain nutrient, or to tell you that you need a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. Your cravings are not there for your best interests. Well, not anymore anyway. Back in the day when we didn't have access to all the crazy junk that we do, if you were craving sugar, you would have got it from a bit of fruit off a tree. If you were craving fat, you would have got it from avocados or peanuts most likely. Or if you happened to come across a the leftovers of a lion's meal. You might have got some fat from that, or if you were craving protein, you would have gone after some beans or other kind of legumes, or again, maybe you would have stumbled across a carcass that a lion has finished with, or you might have caught yourself a rat or something like that. But these days, cravings are not there to help you. They don't tell you anything other than, let's go eat some junk. Let's listen to the little junkie on our shoulder, the little addict on our shoulder telling us that we need a hit. That's what cravings are. Don't listen to them. They're not there for your best interests. Eat Spuds first. Back to the point before. I'm losing count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moderation myth. Number 7. The 7th point of today's. I wasn't going to say it was the 7th lesson I've learned, but it probably wasn't. These are in no order. But point 7 for today. Moderation is a myth for many of us. Not all. There are plenty of people that can do food in moderation. Junk food, that is, in moderation. There are plenty of people that can drink beer in moderation. There's probably even a few people that can take heroin in moderation and be okay with it. But for maybe not most of us, but for a lot of us, moderation is a myth. Moderation leads to mediocrity. If you want to get the best possible results you can out of life, moderation is not going to get it for you. If you told Tiger Woods to have played golf in moderation when he was growing up, he would never have become the best golfer in the world. Perhaps he could have had sex in moderation, though. It might have been better for him. Chris Froome, the Tour de France champion at the moment, you tell him to ride his bike in moderation, he's not going to be the best cyclist in the world. If you eat junk food in moderation, you're not going to be as healthy as you can possibly be. You're going to be, moderation leads to moderate health. It's that simple for most of us. Well, not most, I keep saying most, but for a lot of us. Moderation's a myth. Don't believe in moderation. Go all out. Get rid of all junk food if you're one of these people it doesn't work for. Embracing simplicity is number 8. Yes, number 8. Embrace simplicity. Not every meal has to be an event. Not every meal has to be a cacophony of gastronomic splendor. It doesn't have to be a party in your mouth and foodgasms going off in your brain. Not every meal has to be like that. Yeah, you can have meals like that as long as they're healthy meals made of whole plant foods, but what's wrong with just having a bowl of oats? Not that I've been eating oats, but just a plain bowl of oats. What's wrong with that? It's not going to excite you, but maybe it will. Maybe there's some people it will. What's wrong with having a plate of boiled potatoes? Just eat it. Just put some fuel in the tank and move on. It's okay. Embrace simplicity. That sort of leads into the next point. Point 8, make your food boring and your life interesting. So maybe I could have made those two one point. But anyway, make your food boring and your life interesting is point 8. And that's lesson 8, sorry. I'm not point 8, lesson 8. That is, forget about trying to get excitement and enjoyment and comfort out of food. Forget about that. Try to think about it more like this fuel that I'm putting in my tank. Maybe it's even a little bit of an inconvenience that I've had to stop the awesome things I'm doing with my day so that I can get fuel in this tank to keep the motor running so that I can keep doing all these awesome things with my day. Find some cool stuff to do. Have some fun. Whatever fun is for you. Maybe life is not so fun for you. Well, try to get the fun back. Do some interesting things, and just let food be the fuel that allows you to do those interesting things. Food doesn't have to be the interesting thing. It can just be something that helps you fuel the machine that gets you to go and do all these interesting things. I hope that makes sense. Point number, I'm up to 10. I think it's 10. Focus on, I hope I've got 11. Have I got 11 points here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 10. Point number 10. Focus on actions, not results. Alright, so people, a lot of people, in fact probably most people that I've spoken to, and I did this as well in my past so I can understand it, but people want to focus on what the scales say. Am I losing weight? That's what it's all about. And people get disheartened if they don't lose weight straight away, or if they don't lose as much as they want, or all these sorts of things. And it's really important to understand that it's about process, not results. So if you focus, let's put it another way. You got fat or overweight from eating bad things, most likely. That's why you're fat, because you ate bad food that made you fat. Alright? The action is what got you fat. You didn't focus on the scales and just go, watch them creep up, and just that made it happen by watching the scales. You got fat because you ate bad things. The way to get unfat is to eat good things. If you focus on eating good things, whether that's potatoes or bananas or salad or whatever it is for you, focus on getting the behaviours right. Behaviours lead to results. Get the behaviours right, let the results take care of themselves. And on that same point, people watch the scales and it goes up and down, and you know, one week you lose weight, next week you gain weight, next week it stays the same, then you lose, then you gain. This is how it works. Forget about weight going up and down. My record for one single day this year is I put on 4 kilos overnight. 8.5 pounds or something that is. In one day. You know, if you're just focusing on what the scales say, you're going to get disheartened by that. Forget about that. Change the way you measure your success. Don't use the scales as a measure of success. Use your behaviours as a measure of success. Track what you eat, and if you're eating well, if you're eating only potatoes or whatever it is your plan is, make that your measure of success. If you followed it perfectly, success. And the downhill trend is inevitable if you're doing things right. Get the actions right, the results will take care of themselves. Last one, don't count calories, don't weigh your food, don't measure your food, don't count how many potatoes, don't count or track food intake at all in any way. Lots of people, probably my number one question I get is, how many potatoes do you eat, or how many calories do you eat, or how many meals? It's all about how many, how much, whatever. Forget about it. Eat as much as you feel like eating. Sorry, this is not for everyone. If you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, whether it's potatoes only or whatever other kind of whole food plant-based diet, so you're eating grains, legumes, fruits and veggies, and a tiny bit of nuts and seeds, you can eat as much as you want, as often as you want. Get the food right, and all you have to do is then eat as much as you like, whenever you like. Do not count calories. Do not weigh your food. Do not count how many items of food you've had. Do not count your meals even. Eat as much as you feel like, whenever you feel like. Whole, unprocessed plant foods. Things will take care of themselves. Alright, this got into a long video, but anyway, 11 lessons in 11 months. I guess people are wondering, I started the year at 151.7 kilograms, which is around 335 pounds, and right now I weigh 99.8 kilos, which means I've lost, well actually I haven't weighed myself for a few weeks, maybe two or 3 weeks, but last time I weighed myself, that's when I weighed, and so I've lost 114 pounds, nearly 52 kilos, and I now weigh 99.8 kilos, which is like 220 pounds or something like that. So there you go, because I know lots of people will want to know how much I weigh and how much I've lost and all that sort of stuff. And there you go, 11 lessons from 11 months. 1 month to go. Come and have breakfast with me if you want. The link's below. I've got my t-shirt on. You can buy the t-shirt at the website if you want. If you like that t-shirt, then that's there. The book's there. You can buy the book. You can share my stuff if you want to help me. Then share me, like, subscribe. Go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. I just sent one out a couple of days ago. There you go. I'm going to try and end this video before it gets to 20 minutes. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been a pleasure. I'm excited that 11 months are down and in the bank and 1 month to go. What a year it's been. Thanks, everyone. Spud up!